you can't hide. Talking all that trash, it's got your tongue tied. We king in the window, we'll start till we're finished. You better be ready to throw down. Calling us nameless, I'm missing the papers, and we find our way cause we know how. You get it twisted, we doing our business, the chanting our names, and it's so loud. Better believe it, we can't be defeated, no way. We are the heroes, we're talking legend. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Can't stop us when we go in. Kings and queens are folding. There's something in our touch. Feel the rush, yeah, we're golden. Sending out a message, leave them in the wreckage. Unbreakable, powerful forces not to mess with. We keep it a window, we'll get till we're finished. You better be ready to throw down. Calling us famous, I'm losing the papers, and we find our way cause we know how. You get it twisted, we doing our business, the chanting our names, and it's so loud. Better believe it, we can't be defeated, no way. We are the heroes, we're talking legend. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. We are the heroes, we're talking legend. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens.
Start up a riot, raise up an army. Na 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 na. Light up a fire, come on and try it. Na 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 na. We're locked in, we loaded, we rushing, we rolling. Our future is golden. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Live renegades, we do it our way. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Let's go, game on. We live for the moment, we take it, we own this. Na 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 na. We are the chosen, and you know what happens when we get them going. Na 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 na. We're locked in, we loaded, we rushing, we rolling. Our future is golden. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Live renegades, we do it our way. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Let's go, game on. No fear in the black lights, royale for the gold prize. Tag team, extreme, survive till the bell rings. Let's turn it up, let's go hard, let's turn it up. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Live renegades, we do it our way. Everybody game on, get ready for it, get ready for it. Let's go, game on. Let's go, game on. Let's go, game on.
You are being presented with a choice, evolve or remain. If you choose to remain unchanged, you will be presented with the same challenges, the same routine, the same storms, the same situations until you learn from them, until you love yourself enough to say no more, until you choose change. If you choose to evolve, you will connect with the strength within you. You will explore what lies outside the comfort zone. You will awaken to love. You will become. You will be. You have everything you need. Choose to evolve. Choose love. Welcome. I am Alicia Quinn, and today we are going to be talking about reincarnation. And, that song I think is very fitting, game on. And are you ready to bring your game on? And, I do claim myself to be a renegade for sure, going down a different road solo, like the black sheep, people are falling off a cliff. So, as I went through my awakening, and I was involved very heavily there for many years in religion, especially like Christianity, which is considered Christianity, Church of Christ, there for many years there, which Christians do not believe in reincarnation. You're here to live and then you either go to heaven or hell, pretty much. So when you open up your mind to reincarnation after being indoctrinated, pretty much, but I went down that road and truly started looking up information about it and stuff. And the thing that I came to find was that there was a lot of children before they get distorted that would have these past life memories. And truly, I have this memory when I was a little girl, like it's a feeling and stuff that I was here for something that I had lived before. This was just part of an experience, a journey. So as I went through really like looking into this stuff, that it was a lot of these children and these kids would uh be able to take their new family to the cities and the areas that they had lived in. They could tell, some of them even met those family members from the previous life and could tell who all of them were. And, um, just information of even one that was in some sort of war with the airplanes and stuff. So it's very interesting looking into it and opening your mind to is something new. And, a question that I have continuously come across is are we limiting God by limiting ourselves? And truly coming to see that I am a divine being having a human experience. And, I was once told that God could do anything that he wanted. And, why not have all kinds of different experiences? Different perspectives, different creations, and why not? And so truly opening my mind up to the reincarnation thing. Definitely, I looked into it and researched it. And then came to a point of getting the rules to the game of life, which one of the last rules is that you will forget all of this, but you can remember it if you want. And those answers are within us. There's many people who have come about that they remember previous lives because you can. You can. You are only limiting yourself when you think that this is the only experience that you have. And when you look at things like the movies as having truth in it, there was a movie, I believe, with Mark Wahlberg that I watched as well, that some people just know how to do things. You have like a 3-year-old child and they can play a piano like a professional and never had any type of experiences that or lessons or anything. That is not just a gift. It's that you had the program within you. And that's what I truly do end up believing, is that like you learn how to do something and maybe you need a refresher course, like if you drove a car in the previous life, you need a refresher in this life, but truly, I do believe that we continue on with some of those programs that we have already learned. Some people can be really good cooks, right? Probably because in a former life, they learned how to cook. So it's just things that people will just know how to do them. And I don't believe that is just a gift, like, oh, I have this gift that I can do this very well. I know how to play this instrument very well. It's because of their very own programming and learning to do it, even from a previous life. And that's what I have come to believe and even know, because I know, because I asked, and I know I've lived another life on this planet, and I know some of the things I did as well. And I also have been made aware of other planets that I have been on as well, and some of what I went to those other planets to do as well. Because when you seek the answers which are within you, you will find them. You have to connect to yourself, to spirit, to the divine mind, and you can get those answers. And that's what I truly came to find. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at a few videos, and I'm going to give some thoughts, and then we will have some questions and answers and a conclusion.
See, everything around you is a distraction. Everything to keep you trapped in this 3D matrix, trapped in the reincarnation loop. See, right now you are in a soul trap and don't even know it. Place of dense energy, illusions and trauma loops, ego entanglement. And how do you get out? Gotta go in to get out, not out to get in. Yeah, I know it's been hard. I get it. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Guess what? That is the key. Leave here, this dense energy through the crown. Escape this dense plane of existence by integrating your soul lessons, connecting to your highest self. Going back to the source, by traveling through all your chakras, right back to the most high. That's actually where you've been going all along. You just happen to forget. Let me make this more simple. You don't have to come back here if you leave through your crown chakra, right? Right. But say you want to come back here. Let's say you're a younger soul. We make sure your reincarnation is a good one and not a dense one. But listen close. This is actually your soul's school. A lot of us make it a prison because we forgot it was school. right? So we never graduate. We just keep getting caught up in cycles. But if you're gonna come back here, you wanna make sure you leave through your heart space, not in your lower chakras, right? Why do I say that? Because if you leave from your heart space, your heart chakra means you develop compassion, empathy, inner peace, Christ consciousness. Understand that we are all one, that everything is interconnected. The walking embodiment of love are a true reflection of God. But when you leave from the lower chakras, what happens? You incarnate on a denser timeline. What do I really mean by denser? It means you got a lot more karma to deal with. And no, karma is not a bad thing. They're just lessons for the soul. You gotta deal with those lessons to receive those blessings. You gotta close out those cycles. You gotta detach from attachments. Deal with unfinished trauma. You gotta deal with fear, lust, greed, unprocessed wounds. See, just because your life ends doesn't mean the lessons do. There's no escaping it. You gotta face them one way or another, right? Right. In this life or the next. So remember, if you die in fear, reincarnate in chains. And if you die in love, you reincarnate in light.
Well, I thought that he shared some very good wisdom and insights on reincarnation and information that I have even found myself, that truly this planet has been in a reincarnation loop because they're not learning their lessons. They're not getting out of those lower vibrations and chakras and things. And truly, religion keeps you trapped in that, thinking that you're going to be all good and you can dick around and you can lie, but Jesus is going to save you, but nobody's going to save you. You got to, overcome, you got to master the flesh with the lustful desires and things and your greed and those type of things. And when you're not doing those things, then, you got to go back, you got to go back. And it's, the dense energies. And that's what I have come to find as well. When you haven't learned the lessons, the karma and the trauma and those things, fear, because fear, when you are living in fear, fear plays out in your life, and guilt and shame, instead of evolving that energy and learning the lessons. And so, but, then again, there are young souls as well. But those young souls can go up into that heart chakra. And that is what I have come to learn as well, that if you're going to come back, to be in that heart chakra, because you're not going to be in those dense energies and be in fear and stuff, that some of the, the Christ consciousness that, we are all one and we're having this experience. So, really being detached from it, and that life is to be experienced, and learning, that really Earth is a school, a school for your soul growth, and learning those lessons and overcoming those energies of the lower vibration, fear, victimization, guilt, shame, on and on, lack, complaining about life, being scared of it. And, I lived that way for a long time here, but that all has changed, and it's a different game when you do that. So it's a different game when you open up your mind and, bring in new ideas and truly coming to learn about yourself. And so anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take a look at another video.
So do you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior?
No. However, I respect Jesus as a divine teacher, but my path is different.
You do understand that Jesus is the only path to salvation, right?
I understand that's what your faith teaches, but to me, salvation isn't linear. It's a journey of the soul through many lives, learning and growing towards divine realization.
Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to my Father except through me.
Truth is vast and universal. Just as a river flows into the same ocean from many directions, the divine can be experienced in many ways. For you, Jesus is the path. For me, The journey unfolds through karma, dharma, and self-realization.
So you don't believe in salvation through Christ?
I believe in liberation of the soul through moksha, which comes from the understanding of our divine nature. It's not tied to one lifetime or one teacher, but to the unfolding of the soul's wisdom.
So you're saying there's no need for Jesus?
Not at all. Jesus is the divine soul. His teachings on love, compassion, and selflessness align with my core beliefs. But I also honor Krishna, Buddha, and many other enlightened ones. The divine is too vast just to be contained to one form.
But what about judgment? Heaven, hell?
I don't see judgment as an eternal sentence, but a reflection of our actions. Our deeds shape our experiences in this lifetime and the next. If we still have lessons to learn, we return, growing closer to the divine with each birth.
So what if someone never gets a chance to refine themselves?
That's exactly why reincarnation makes sense. Every soul is on its own unique journey. Some face suffering as a result of past actions, and some face suffering to cultivate wisdom. Every experience, even suffering, is an opportunity to evolve.
So you think suffering is a lesson?
Yes, suffering teaches humility, love, and detachment from the material world. It's not a punishment, but a chance to awaken.
Well, I believe the soul's fate is sealed in this lifetime. Either go to heaven or hell. There's no second chances.
Then we see the journey differently, and that's okay. But truth is like the sky. It remains no matter how we view it.
Well, if I'm right, we know where you'll be.
And if I'm right, maybe you'll be having this conversation with someone else in the next lifetime.
Well, I think that was a good one for entertainment purposes for sure. But that truth is a vast thing. Whose truth are we believing, Because there's many different truths out there, about many different things. You open your eyes and take a look. So, and really, having those lessons to evolve. And, sometimes you got to go through the darkness to truly evolve and transmute that energy into love and light. And that's freaking powerful when you can do that. And so, letting things go, detaching from the material world. And so, and I just recently got something just within these last few days that, some people, that's what part of their soul growth, they want to come back and experience more of this, the material, physical world. But there are other worlds out there. There are other levels of the game of life. There's many, there's even, and I haven't necessarily looked into it too much because I'm still growing and evolving here within Alisha, but I know that answers and things will open up to me. But there's an astral field, astral plane of consciousness as well. And that we have bodies in other realms and other dimensions as well. So, because we are multi-dimensional beings, and why wouldn't we be when we are a piece of spirit, piece of the divine, having a human experience? And so, some people limit themselves and their experience, and that's the journey and the experience that they choose to have. And that's some of the thing is, coming to that Christ consciousness that they are meant to have that experience. But that doesn't mean that I have to limit myself because of them, because they're the ones limiting themselves. So, people who are judgmental and things, they'll go back for another round and they might be experiencing what they were so judgmental about in their past life. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take a look at another video.
Now you're in the human stage. You have to be everything. You've got to be male and female many, many times, and people sometimes get upset by that. They say, no, I've always been a man. What do you mean? You wouldn't learn everything if you were just one all the time. You have to experience both sides of everything, male and female, many, many times. You have to live on every continent in the world. You have to be every religion in the world, every race in the world. You've got to be rich and poor. You have to know what it's like to be on every side of every situation. And when you finally understand this, there's no prejudice. There's no judgment. Because you know you've either been these other races or these other religions, or you're going to be, especially if you're too judgmental now.
Well, I thought that video there was extremely insightful. Dolores Cannon was a very gifted soul with wisdom and knowledge for sure. And that, you know, we are here to experience and learn. And, you know, I used to have like even judgmental issues, you know, especially being in religion, you know, somewhat with gay people. I kind of grew up more liberal. And so I wasn't really like that when I was younger, but then you get involved in the church and it's like, oh, it's a sin, you know, oh, it's, you know, sexual sin to be having sex with the same sex and stuff, you know. And I, you know, truly came to evolve out of that where it's like, and that judgment of it, right? And I do see how even like that's partly why some of the things have happened in this world is because everything's a reflection of what's inside. And when you have a bunch of religious people who are being judgmental towards these different, you know, types of people, then, you know, they come out, you know, they end up being out in the world. And so anyhow, um, you know, I really have come to be like, well, you know, I could go through that. I could experience something like that. All it would just take is changing my mind and opening my mind up to it, and that I could have that experience as well, because that's all it is just, you know, you can convince your mind of anything. And so you just convince yourself that, you know, you're okay with it. And, you know, some of the people who do stuff like that, they end up having, you know, to deal with those energies, being judgmental of themselves for being that way or being in fear of other people's opinions and things. And it's just part of their journey and experience to overcome those energies and like the acceptance, you know, like this is my journey and my experience. And if that's the role that they are here to play and that they want to play, you know, that's the experience that they get to have. But, you know, sometimes people end up changing, right? Just like with religion, you know, you go into one religious group and some people will go to other religious groups. Those are their experiences and they're learning and evolving. And then, you know, you can see things from a different side. See, I voted Democrat and I voted Republican. And, you know, it's the same coin, opposite side, really. You know, so I can see the, you know, different viewpoints of those things. And so, you know, it's all about the experiences and learning. And that's what it truly is about. And, you know, everybody has the free will to experience the things that they are meant to. And sometimes people get trapped because they're not evolving, they're not having other experiences. They have the same thing their whole life. And then they go back in and they do it all over again, reincarnation, you know, because they're not truly learning and growing and evolving. And so, anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take a look at one more video.
Reincarnation is not your path to freedom. It's the prison system of the false light. Let me explain. Reincarnation wasn't part of the original divine design. It began when distorted beings fell from the eternal life architecture and installed artificial light grids to harvest spirit energy. These systems fractured your original connection to source and looped your awareness into repeated lifetimes, making you forget who you are, lifetime after lifetime. When you die, you're shown the light, but often this is a trap. False guides, karmic contracts, illusory life reviews. You think you're returning to God, but you're actually entering astral holding zones, mechanisms built to recycle your soul light essence back into Earth's reincarnation net. So how do you break free? Remember, you are not a soul meant to be purified through pain. You are spirit, already whole. Revoke all false agreements, contracts, or initiations not aligned with eternal source. Declare, upon my transition, I return only to the one true source. I bypass all false light and rise beyond all artificial matrices. This is your exodus, not by death, but by remembrance. Reincarnation is not a blessing. It is the forgotten curse of a fallen system. Your liberation begins the moment you say, I choose eternal spirit. I choose source. I do not return here again.
So, that was informative of, the reincarnation loop that this world has truly been on, that there is this loop going on of souls not evolving, and they're staying stuck to the material, physical, dense energy world. And there's a lot of souls that came into this world to help assist humanity to raise up their consciousness, their frequencies, their vibrations, to heal even from past life karmas and stuff. And, truly coming to that, there's a lot of false even things that happen even when you die. And I've heard some of that stuff that, the light and stuff, that's a false type deal. But anyhow, just like, saying I return to source, I choose source, and, I do not return here again. And I even have received a message that this is my last lifetime here, and I'm evolving, I'm growing, I'm doing everything that I can do to get ahead in the game of life, where I'm not going to return back here. I'm not going to return back here. I've gone through too much. I changed too much. I evolved too much to truly come back here. And I know that all I got to do is just keep on moving forward, keep learning and growing and experiencing, really. So anyhow, we're going to ask a few questions here. How does reincarnation happen? And often it's by karma. The things that even people were attached to is what I've come to learn. Do souls remember their past lives? Many traditions hold that the soul does retain some memories. Why do souls choose to reincarnate? For spiritual growth, allowing them to learn from past mistakes and work through unresolved issues across multiple lifetimes. And what happens when you reincarnate? The non-physical essence of a living being, such as a soul, moves from a deceased body to a new physical form in a subsequent life. So that's what I have, truly come to find. So, my conclusion has come that reincarnation happens. Even it was very funny when I looked at when they asked, when Jesus says, who do they say I am or something, they pretty much brought up reincarnation, Elijah, right? Or John the Baptist even, right? So it's very interesting. And I do believe that um, Jesus taught reincarnation, that, you know, people have truly put themselves in bondages and traps and limitations, not evolving, being on a reincarnation loop, but, they can grow and they can evolve and go to the next level and have another experience. And so, and looking into information. I have this book, 10 Secrets of Awakening, and this guy, Dr. Stevenson, he did work for years, and there are so many evidences of reincarnation that that man did. And so people can limit themselves and be closed-minded to such ideas. But then again, that is the role that they are playing. That's the experience that they are having. Some people come to limit themselves, and some people come to be unlimited and actually experience and learn and evolve, transforming. So, you know, what I have come to find is even letting go of the physical and material world, that when you're attached to things, when you're not letting go of that trauma and the stuff you've gone through, instead of growing from it, evolving it, seeing what did I learn from such a thing, you're trapped and you're going to come back. And so eventually you are going to have to deal with the trauma. You can keep on going through it again and again. And that's what I've come to learn, that there's no coincidences and everything serves its purpose, no matter how bad it is and how good it is. It's serving a purpose. And so, we can learn our lessons and grow and evolve and detach ourselves from the physical world. We are a divine being having a human experience, just here to experience life, experience it in this human body, and some are playing a man and some are, experiencing being a woman. And that's what we have to, that's what I've come down to. And so, and it makes you truly look at things a whole lot different when it's like, my children, they're just playing their parts and their roles. They've had previous lives, right? They've been adults before. They are a soul on their own journey and experiences. And it's, they have their own learning lessons and things. And so it's a whole lot different when you start to look at that, and that all I am here to do is to teach and help them and to learn and grow from them. And so, and that goes for everyone. So it's very interesting in that, people, places, and things come and go. And it is just on our own, experiences, learning lessons, growth. So, but some people get trapped and they will continue to be trapped because they have trapped themselves consciously within them. And we are going through a time in this world that people are breaking free from those bondages, and those people will hold on tight to those old belief systems and limiting beliefs that they have put themselves under. Be like, oh, they don't have the truth, and on and on. But wisdom comes when you know that they're meant to play that, and good and bad, everybody serves their purpose. And that's the truth. So go ahead and take what resonates. And remember, it's an energy game. And what you put out, you get back. You could be a fear. You can be in a lack mindset, complaining about life, and, have your shame and your guilt and, stuck on the past and your trauma. Or you can play a new game, love life, love the journey and experience, and, heal from those traumas and the things that you went through. Raise up your vibration and your frequency so you don't have to go through all those experiences again in another life. And so I'm grateful that I have learned and I've grown, and I'm in a place of experiencing and truly observing my life and the experience. And I'm grateful for anyone who is listening, learning and growing from me, and healing and evolving their consciousness and soul, because we learn and grow from everyone. So if you want any help with healing from trauma, religious trauma, narcissistic abuse, and these type of things, I do offer that, as I have healed and know why I've gone through everything I have gone through in my life. It's a different game when you can be like, this is just part of my experience and my journey, and I'm not the victim of it. And what am I learning from this? And, taking back your power over your own mind, body, and soul. And I have done that. I am doing that. And if you want help with that, you can reach out to me. Like, share, subscribe, please. And my links and email are in the bio. Enjoy your day and enjoy your life, because it's yours. You can enjoy it or not, but I choose to enjoy it. So, love ya. What is spiritual awakening? A spiritual awakening is when a person becomes aware of his real nature and own unique being. When this happens in your life, you will have a new sense of seeing things and the world around you. You will begin to trust life and use your inner voice when making decisions. You will be able to accept your emotions and really feel them, not repressing them through addictions and negative patterns. You will release the old pattern where you react in your life based on your traumas and old experiences. You will know that the same thing will not happen again, because you attract what you want in life. You are able to release the old ways of thinking. When you experience a spiritual awakening, many questions will come into your mind, and you will ask yourself a lot of questions, because your ego will try to find all the excuses to keep you in fear and old patterns.
Isn't it strange how you'll never meet the version of you that lives in someone else's story? To some, you're heartless. To others, your kindness itself. Some will remember your laughter. Others will never forget your mistakes. But none of them really know you. Not fully. They only know the version of you that crossed their path. You are not one person. You are 1,000 reflections in 1,000 different minds, shaped by moments you may not even remember. You can be a villain in a story you never read, and a hero in another, because we are all mosaics, broken and beautiful, shaped by the eyes that see us. And you don't get to choose which pieces they keep. But here's the truth. You do get to choose the version of yourself you wake up to every day. Because in the end, the only story that matters is the one you write for yourself. Isn't it strange?
No chains at our feet. my mind.